look official. Hello.
All right. Well, welcome, Northridge, and anybody else that decides they want to watch this. I've realized
Hello.
currently there aren't anybody watching live, but maybe you'll join us in a moment. My name is Andy, and that is
Greg.
Greg, and we are on staff here at Northridge, and we're just going to check in with you about once a week in the middle of a week, see how you're doing, see how we're doing, and just talk about, I don't know, all things Northridge, all things a bunch of random stuff. So here's the first thing, Greg. First quick question is, what's the best thing that you've seen on the internet lately? Could be heartwarming, funny, random, whatever it is.
The best thing that I've seen on the internet lately was actually a memory, I think, of like probably 2 years ago on Facebook, but it was a little old man in a wheelchair at the Chicago Cubs game throwing out the first pitch, and he was about 3 feet away from the mound.
Was it Joe? Oh.
No. 3 feet away from home plate and doing like a little, he had like the blanket on his lap and everything. Just couldn't look more frail. And I don't know this man's story. I mean, I'm sure it's a great story. Underhand toss, like throwing out the first pitch, and then it was cut to Giancarlo Stanton from the New York Yankees swinging and missing at a terribly outside pitch.
Love that.
It was just hilarious.
Any Yankees fans out there? Yeah, it hurts. What about your Dodgers, Greg? What's going on?
That's about the other worst thing I've seen on the internet in a long time. They've been rough. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, you can't say too much for the Twins either. So
bad injuries.
How many injuries in baseball this year so
lots
far?
Of injuries. Lots of injuries and lots of great pitching. And lots of injured pitchers.
Yeah, I think that the average around Major League Baseball is probably like 200, 220. It's very low. Anyway, that's
welcome
not
to midweek baseball talk with Greg and Andy.
To listen about baseball. I love baseball. If you want to talk about baseball, both Greg and I would love to
anytime
have you take us to a baseball game, and we can talk and watch baseball. The internet is crazy. And do you remember what it was like growing up without the internet?
Yes, it was a long time ago, but yes, I do enjoy that Mountain Dew. The best part is you hiding your microphone, trying to hide the sound effect. Let's see if we heard that. Wait, there's going to be an echo.
There's a major echo.
We heard a little bit.
All right, we're new to this thing, so
yeah, no, I know
it's not a
echo.
Sponsorship for Mountain Dew either.
But it might be for coffee.
But do you remember growing up without the internet and in a world without the internet? I mean, it seems
it was a lovely place, free from arguments, and
you didn't know anything, right?
I especially didn't know with like people I grew up with what they were having for dinner, which is what the internet or what social media became for a while.
Yeah.
Then it became about everyone that I know, like who they're voting for.
A bunch of foodies. I love actually. It's not
bad.
It's kind of fun to take pictures of if you're at a nice restaurant. In fact, if you're watching this, go ahead and post. I don't know. Can they put pictures into the chat?
I don't know, but you could try.
I know they used to be able to, but post maybe on the Northridge Life group.
Yeah.
Post your favorite your food pictures from your nice favorite restaurant. I don't know. Be kind of fun. As much as the internet, because like I grew up, when I was growing up, I was teaching myself how to play guitar. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have YouTube. And, I had to go to Schmidt Music and buy a chord chart and then, sort of do a lot of it on your own, unless you were taking lessons. Now, today, they have the YouTube, and they have all sorts of people teaching guitar online. You can, I learned how to cook from online. You can get any sort of information all over social media, websites. It's crazy the amount of stuff that's on the internet and how much it's enabled life and culture and all these things. And just as much as it is used for good, it's used for bad too. Did you know that today every day seems like there's a new holiday, like it's Left Sock Day or something like that. Do you know what today's holidays are?
Right Sock Day. No. Is it Ice Cream Day or something?
No.
Because I heard there was like a deal at a place that serves ice cream, but I don't want to say it because everyone will go. And then the lines will be long.
I don't know.
but
I'm
it
a
rhymes.
little bit lactose intolerant, so I don't really eat a ton of ice cream.
Yeah, I could tolerate my share of lactose. um, I'll
Lactose full.
I'll say it rhymes with pulvers.
I wonder what that would be.
I don't know, but they were having some kind of deal today, and I
Well-
thought there's a day that's National Ice Cream Day, and like Dairy Queen gives out free cones or something.
So you would say Dairy Queen, but not Pulvers.
Well, because the special that I read wasn't Dairy Queen; it was
Okay.
the place that rhymes with pulvers.
Okay. Well, one of the holidays for today is World Password Day.
Is what?
It's World Password Day, where you
World
change
password.
your passwords.
What's the password to the world?
I don't know.
Okay, let's do this. Since it's World Password Day, why don't you all share your password
Yep.
to some important
Greg,
site?
share your bank password.
1,
Yep. Post it
2,
here in the
3,
comments section.
4, 5.
But I guess it's World Password Day. That's one of the because it seems like there's a lot of people out there who have nothing to do with their time. That all they do is farm for information and trying to get into your accounts. And they've gotten really good at it, and they're sneaky at it, and never open an attachment from an email from somebody you don't know. But change your password today.
Yeah.
Just because it's the holiday.
You know who celebrates Password Day every day of the year? Pastor Doug.
Pass-
He's always forgetting his passwords. So every day is like Password Day for Pastor Doug.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what else it is today?
What?
It's National Nurses Day.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
good.
so
Yeah.
all of you who
So-
work in the healthcare industry and nurses, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
We
you.
celebrate you over this last year and a half. It has been incredible amount of work and
Yeah.
stress and weight on your guys' shoulders, and we are so in awe. And we
Yeah.
applaud you. We thank you, and we hope that the coming days and years lightens up for you, and you're able to get some time with your family and all that stuff. So happy National
Yeah.
Nurses Day. There's
Way
another one.
cooler than doctors, by the way. It's
I
also
don't have an
Teacher
opinion.
Appreciation Week.
Is it Teacher Appreciation Week this week?
So you know who it's double for, like, if you're a professor at a nursing school, this is a big day for you.
Oh, you get like double
yeah,
dip.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's also National Beverage Day. So
Ooh, hey,
cheers,
all right.
mate.
Hey, coffee.
What do you got? Coffee. in there?
Every day is National Beverage Day for me.
And then the last one, it's National Day of Prayer.
Oh,
Today, to right now, today, and that segues into something we're doing a little later tonight over at
Yeah.
Word of Peace at 7:00. We're having a National Day of Prayer gathering with a few other churches in the Rogers area, and so Word of Peace, which we're actually, I don't know if anybody knew this, but we're in their old building that they were. You can actually go over to the other side and see a brick that has when Word of Peace was established. It's like in the 80s or something like that, right?
yeah, something like that.
70s or 80s. But they moved to a building just down the way, across the railroad, or right before the railroad track. Take a left, and we'll be gathering there at 7. Do a little bit of worship, and then be praying for a bunch of different things. So we'll encourage you to come and join us there at 7:00. We're going to be streaming it on Facebook as well. We have a Rogers Community Prayer Gathering. It's a bunch of different words, group. And if you go to the Facebook page, you can watch it streamed tonight at 7:00. Any thoughts about anything so far?
No, I mean it'll be a good evening. My son will be there with some of his scout buddies doing the flag
Oh,
ceremony at the beginning. Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So we'll have scouts doing opening flag ceremony or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. They'll be doing that. So yeah,
That'd be awesome.
so we'll be there, and should be a fun night. I think it's the cool thing about that is it's just cool to see how the churches in the community kind of come together and work together on this. It's not like a Northridge thing. It's not a Word of Peace thing. It's in their building. Like you and Pastor Ben have been helping with it, but a lot of pastors in the area have collaborated and volunteers too have collaborated and worked together on it, right? So
Yeah,
it's like the church in our community, the Capital C Church in Rogers and Greater Rogers area. It's our night.
Yep.
to get
Working
together
with
and
the Catholic
pray.
Church, working with the Lutheran Church, working with a non-denominational church. We're a Baptist church, and so it's not about these lines that us people have drawn. It's about praying and seeking a God that doesn't care about those lines, and lifting up things in our city and our families and our country, and really even across the globe. So let's come together and create unity, and it'd be awesome. At 7 o'clock, Word of Peace. And yeah. One of the things that we're going to just want to talk about is spending some time just talking about some things that are coming up and happening here at Northridge. Just looking back at the last, I don't know, say since January, any cool stories pop out to you? What do you remember about the last like 5 months? I put him on the spot, by the way.
Well, I mean, yeah, you put me on the spot, but it's easy for me as a dad because I had my kids baptized, both boys baptized on Easter, sunrise service. So personally, and I mean, for us in ministry, it's always a highlight to see people get baptized. But I mean, it's my 2 kids, so or 2/3 of my kids anyway. So two of them, but
2/3.
yeah. So that was a highlight for me personally, but. Man, ministry-wise, I think it's just as a whole, just seeing so many people coming back. Like, we were back over the summer and we regathered, and you know, we had to go back online for that short time in the fall,
November
into January. But once mid-January hit and we were back in the building, people have been slowly more and more people coming back, and so it was like a big celebration. A few weeks, I think it was 2 weeks before Easter, the first time we went over 200. In a service, I think.
I think I was out of town, or I was gone. I wasn't.
Yeah, you were in Hawaii. Yeah.
No, I wasn't in Hawaii. That was.
Yeah. When did you go to Hawaii?
That was in February.
Okay. Well, whatever. It's just cool, and then, of course, Easter service is here because we missed last Easter live. In person here. We missed Christmas here, and so Easter services were awesome, and then. I think every week we've been seeing more and more of you coming back that haven't been here, and hearing people say it's our first time back in church since pre-pandemic, and all of that wrapped into one is just, I mean, it's been a highlight. And what could have been, it has been a difficult year, but could have been like, I don't know, way more difficult, I think.
Yeah.
We were able to pull off stuff online and stay connected that way. Small groups are connecting, and this year, there's been more small group attendance than ever before, and a lot of that online. But I don't know, you just take all that stuff as a whole, to me, is just a highlight. So
it's crazy to think like a year ago we were in quarantine, and everybody's watching the services online on the weekend. Nobody's in the building except for a few of us working on stuff. But that was a year ago.
Yeah.
Did it feel like a year ago? It felt like,
Kinda.
In some ways, it felt like a long time ago, but
Yeah.
it felt like this last year went so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be heading into the summer here in a couple weeks. We have what's some of the events coming up in the next handful of weeks?
Well, we have next weekend, right? I think, what's today, the 6th? Yeah, next weekend is our first Saturday supper again that we haven't had in over a year, and
So we
that's
can
with
actually
the open
serve
house.
food?
We're gonna have food
Food.
for the graduate open house here. So from our high school graduates, some of them are doing, like we've done this the last couple of years, an open house here in the building where they get their own table and set up, and you could go hang out with them, greet them, say hi, kind of hear their plans for the future, and congratulate them, maybe just bless them, maybe bring them a card, whatever you do at a normal open house, I guess, at going to their home. But yeah, there'll be food, and it should be fun. That's always a fun night and a good time. So,
And that's when?
Next weekend, immediately following Saturday evening service on, what's that, the 15th?
The 15th,
Yeah.
I think. That's
Yeah.
Saturday. Yep. So if you do have a graduate, a senior this year, and they're not on the list, you call the office and talk to Tammy and get her on get them on the list, so we can celebrate with them, encourage them as they head on to this new crazy world that we're living in. What else we got coming up?
What else do we have coming up? We have the year-end celebration.
Celebration weekend.
Celebration weekend.
This is June 6th,
Yep.
right?
5th and 6th.
6th.
Saturday the 5th, and then 6th Sunday.
It's the day before my birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. June 7th is Andy's birthday.
Sometimes it actually falls on my birthday. There was a year where we were
Really?
doing celebration weekend, celebration Sunday. I think at the time we were only doing Sunday services, and so I spent. Normally, I like to not work on my birthday, but how cool was it to spend your birthday watching a bunch of people get baptized? I was standing right
cool.
at the edge of the river, helping people into the water,
That's cool.
and getting to talk.
Was it made known publicly that it was your birthday?
No.
And didn't say anything during
No, I
the
generally, actually, this is weird for me to even say that it's my birthday when it is, because I generally, pretty hush-hush. Ben, 1 year he said cryptically from the front that there's...
Oh, yeah. Because it was a milestone birthday.
Yeah, there's a person in our congregation who's turning 40, and I'm not going to say who it is, but they play the guitar, and they're Asian. So...
That was like 8 years ago, wasn't it?
8?
When was that?
When I turned 40? That's a few years ago.
I'm just joking.
8.
Yeah.
That's about 8 for you, right?
No, not quite.
Not quite. All right.
6 in September.
So we have Celebration Weekend coming up, and we are going to still do a gathering over at the Otsego Park.
Yeah.
But I heard that you have to RSVP this year.
Yeah, that is true. It is definitely RSVP because there are restrictions. Well, I don't know. Maybe some of that's changed with walls.
Wasn't there supposed to be something today?
Yeah, but I
Do you know when that's supposed
haven't
to be?
looked. Yeah, I think they.
At 2
I think he
o'clock?
did this morning. I didn't read the
He did this
details yet.
morning, Okay.
I just know there's some lifting of restrictions, but I think for now it's still RSVP. I think we're limited, and that's the park, and the county is asking us to limit the number, obviously, and so it's not something that we want to do necessarily, but we do need the RSVP. Plus, what's really important about that is, in years past, people would bring. It used to be kind of like a potluck, and then people would bring like sides or something. We'd do the main course, but this year, it's going to be all completely catered.
You don't have to bring anything?
You don't have to
Just
bring
yourself?
anything. So that's another really big reason for RSVP, because we need to know how much food to get.
Sure.
Because when you start getting into those numbers with catering, as some of you know, if you're throwing parties for grad parties, it gets pricey. So we want to be as exact as we can be on that.
I do know people like bringing stuff too, though.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a missed thing. Maybe next year. Hopefully.
How about this? If you want to make something and bring something on that following day, and you drop it off at Andy's house for his birthday, your bars or cookies or whatever you want to make, drop it over. I'll give Andy's address. June 7th.
Something like that.
Something like that.
We have what else coming up? Just in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Anything else that's shifting in?
I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden, but I have VBS is coming up.
Yeah, you can. When are they going to start registering for that?
Oh, good question. When does the registration start? I think it's coming up. Let me try to look at that.
If you go to the website,
Yeah.
northridgefellowship.org, on the kids page, you should see a graphic that has VBS coming up, and we're hoping to be kind of in the midst of the final building construction here, but we're still planning on having it. We're going to have to limit the attendance to how many? Do you even know how many we're going to limit the attendance to? Probably 150-ish.
Something like that. We should know these details.
Yeah, that's okay.
There is a limit, though.
Registration opens May 15th, and there is a limit. So if you're interested, you want to get signed up as soon as possible so you don't miss out on a spot. I don't believe there is a cost, because that is always usually funded every year by...
There's someone that usually gives for that, but I
Yeah.
heard that might not be the case this year. So,
Okay.
um,
All right, so either way, it's probably
Yeah.
not that much money. And
But
if you
yeah,
need help
few
paying
bucks.
for it, I will, and Greg
Yeah.
will help pay for it.
yeah. No.
I will help. I'm
Yeah,
not
if
volunteering.
someone really needs help with,
We
and you
will
want
make
your
sure
kid to
that-
VBS, it'll happen. So
Yeah, we'll make sure finances
register.
don't keep you from being able to go.
Mhm.
So sign up for that. Just a couple fun things in the summer. It's going to be a pretty fun and hopefully stress less than last year summer, where we can just enjoy fellowship and enjoy the nice weather. We're going to have a concert here in the middle of July. We're going to have some gatherings at parks with the kids and families, some fishing events, and just really an opportunity just to build community and grow in our relationship with God together as we walk on this journey. And so we want to just do this together. Invite you to come with us and do it with us. There's with the upcoming startup of events now, we would love to have you jump in with us and love each other, whether it's an event here in the church or outside of the church. One of the ways that you can do that is just being a friendly face on the weekend. I know Greg would love to have you join his Connections team.
Would love that.
Another way that you could help and serve with us is on our streaming video team weekend. We have 3 services that we're looking to build a team for and stream the weekend service. It's really easy, actually. You don't even need to have any experience or any technical know-how of this stuff. I will train you. We'll train you how to do this, and you can volunteer once a month if that's something that you're concerned about getting wrapped into something long-term or too much. It could be as little as you want. What's some other ways that people can serve and help out?
You mentioned Connections team. That's always a big need. It's a really big need now, especially as more and more people are starting to come back into in-person. But specifically, door greeters and check-in people, just standing at the entryways. If you could type on a computer and you could say hi to someone and ask them their name, then that qualifies you as a check-in person, or the ability to. It's really easy. It's really fun. If you ask some of the people that do it, they have a good time. Door greeters is great because all you have to do is smile and say good morning or good evening if it's Saturday and just open the door. And I was told by an introvert, a self-professed introvert, told me that is the best job if you're an introvert, because she was saying, like, I could say hi, but I don't want to have a conversation with somebody. That makes me nervous. So you just say hi as they walk by, and then you don't have to have a conversation, or if you're intimidated by that.
And there's an opportunity to do that virtually, too, as
and
well.
Virtually. So we, with online services, being a service host, interacting with people on the Facebook, the live feed, and maybe giving updates throughout the service, posting links to, if you're doing news and events, and, you could post a link to, all you have to do is go to the website, grab the link for, kids VBS or something, and post it there for people to click on. Maybe posing a question, icebreaker questions, or even during the service. Someone reached out to me last week after we were talking live and talking about this stuff, and said, I think online, actually this person's a teacher, and he was saying that what they found out through this year with high school kids is you have to be okay with them doing other stuff while they're while they're participating multitasking.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier to do that when you're participating in a worship service online. Like, even if you're really listening to the sermon or you're singing along in worship, for some reason it's still easier to also do something else. You wouldn't do it in the worship center. You wouldn't turn and talk to someone next to you at normal voice volume, but you can if you're watching with someone. But you could also interact and type
doing it right now
and stuff.
while we're
Yeah.
talking.
So that was his point was, I don't think everyone's going to be just quiet during the sermon the whole time. You can ask them a question. If Pastor Ben's preaching and he makes a point about, peace, in this series, you could say, what do you think about this? And just have people kind of interact and respond that way. So if that sounds like something that you would like to do, please email me, contact me, talk to me on the weekend, or however you want to get a hold of me and let me know. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
We're really looking at beefing up our streaming on the weekend, especially during the summer, because a lot of people, they're gone, they're at the cabins or whatever. They still want to access the service on the weekends. We want to continue to try to improve what we do online for the weekend services, and it takes a team. And so we want to build this team up. And if you're interested in joining the team, whether it's virtual greeters or working on the tech side of stuff, get in touch with either Greg or I. Love to have you join us. That's about it, Greg. One last thing. Do you think time travel will ever be something possible?
What do you mean ever be? Maybe it already is. Maybe it has been.
And I had this idea of this book where, or a movie or whatever, where all the alien encounters that people have had are actually time travelers from the future. What do you think about that? No?
It could happen. Have you seen these theories of like celebrity, like Nicolas Cage? I've seen like someone found an old photo like from the late 1800s of this person that looked a lot like Nicolas Cage. And they're like, he's a time traveler. And
was he wearing like clothes that fit the?
Yeah, it was like.
Because if he was wearing like, something like a.
No, it wasn't
AC/DC
like he's.
T-shirt or something.
Yeah, he's accidentally got his same clothing on from current time.
Yeah.
But it immediately begs the question, then why doesn't he go back in time and get acting lessons? Don't say
Okay.
Nicolas Cage is no.
No, I'm not saying he's awesome.
Nicolas
he had one
Cage.
of the worst accents. What was it in
Oh,
Con
that-
Air, where he had that like Southern accent? It was terrible.
Yeah, that one,
Yeah.
and then also the 9/11 one where he changed from like a New York accent to a Boston accent to
Yeah.
like no accent to
Kevin Costner did that though in Robin Hood.
yeah.
He
No,
had-
he didn't have an
My name
accent.
is Robin of Locksley, and then he was something like,
Didn't
not-
everyone except him have an accent?
But it changed like
Yeah.
throughout the movie.
I'm dogging people. I'm not an actor. I mean, it's hard, I guess, but yeah.
Suzanne said, "I'm so bummed we're missing VBS due to summer school. Oh, we're gonna be bummed to not have you guys there.
Not as bummed as your kids are that they have to
Yeah.
go to summer school.
Yeah,
I used to get so mad when my mom sent us to summer school, but it was every year.
you had to go.
Like it.
Like
from-
I only went to one class because I got something happened in the regular year, regular part of the year.
Something. What would
Something
something happen?
I don't
Be
know. I might have
Failed.
flunked the class. I don't know. I don't remember. Or maybe it was like some sort of class that I had to take for. Oh, that was like an ACT prep class.
I will say
That was
that I
enough.
always. I was mad going in, but I was always thankful later because, like, by the time I hit senior year of high school, I had like everything done. I mean, except for a couple classes you could only take when you're a senior. So it was mostly electives and nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, but you still had to go to school.
Still had to
your
go to
senior-
summer school. But
No,
my
I mean,
mom,
like school your senior year.
well, yeah,
It's not like you
yeah.
could just like not show up because you did that during the summer.
No, but I had like office aid and like 2 classes where I was a teacher's aide.
Office
and-
aid? Oh,
yeah,
you
we're
were
like-
one of those guys.
Well, I had to fill my
Teacher's
schedule
pet.
somehow.
Office aid.
Yeah, you just hang out in the office and they say, hey, you got to take this, hall pass to Andy in whatever class he's taken for the 3rd time because he failed it and didn't go to summer school because Andy needs to come to the office. Then I'd go to your class with the.
And you got a credit? You got credits for
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I had
You're
all-
somebody's lackey.
We rarely had to do anything.
You just sit
It
there.
was mostly just
Do your
sitting
homework?
there. No, I didn't have
You
really.
didn't have homework your senior
Well, I
year.
did. I didn't do it. You know what the most
Suzanne
common
says
thing?
That sounds like my senior as well.
The most common thing I had on my report card was a teacher would write something like,
Pleasant.
nice kid, whatever, friendly, kind to others, would do much better if he would apply himself. Yeah.
I would like to see one of these weeks. I want you to bring a picture of you, your senior. I'll do the same. And to encourage both of us to do it, you could post a picture of
His
your
senior year of high
senior
school,
year.
your senior picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll make all the seniors
I have to
that are
find it.
graduating this year feel way better because we looked not as cool as seniors look today.
yeah.
I think seniors graduating from high school today look way cooler than what we used to look like.
Except here's one thing about that, about being cool, because I was never cool, but I noticed that like whenever you go back and look at like cringy old pictures, it was people that thought they were cool with the fashion at the time, like the 70s or like 80s, like people rocking the mullet or whatever.
What was the coolest?
They always thought they were super cool with fashion, and then you look back 20 years later and it's like, oh my goodness, look at you.
What was like the coolest trend when you were a senior in high school? Now, mind you, this is California too.
Yeah.
Here in Minnesota, that would have been what, 93? 93?
Yeah.
You're old.
I know I'm old, man. At least I can admit it. Got a little gray in the beard. The trend. So let's see. It was kind of like not the tail end. It was like the grunge era, but I was never like super grunge dresser guy. But like jeans and flannels, that was cool in the early '90s, mid '90s.
So that was a little too. Yeah.
You find your time and then you just stick with it. You know what I mean? Like with music, anyway.
What was that too early before? Remember when people used to roll their jeans? Like
That was
now they
more
started
80s.
doing it again.
Like
But guys would roll their jeans too.
yeah, that was more '80s.
80s?
Yeah.
80s? Okay.
Yeah, roll your yeah.
What were the coolest
There was
brands
like
of
grunge
jeans?
stuff. It was kind of a little bit of what was that? Those pants that like AC Slater used to wear with the two.
Zubas?
No, not
Oh.
Zubas. They would have like two belts and stuff.
2 belts.
They were
I don't know.
lame. It was kind of like dressing up, but not really.
I don't know.
What's the name?
Maybe
I
it's
can't
just
think. It was a dude's
California
Cavarici. Remember
Z
Cavari-
Cavaricis?
Yeah. Remember those?
I don't remember them having 2 belts.
Did they? Maybe I'm
No.
thinking of something. Maybe I'm just trying to picture AC Slater as a poster boy.
Were those
for-
like the super
early
spendy
90s.
jeans, the Z Cavaricis? I know Gerbeau were expensive.
They were for us. I mean, I've never had them, so they must have been spendy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways, we're
no.
getting off the.
No, we're
I
not.
recently saw trees down outside the office. Any new real-time updates we can see? In terms of what you can see, is they're being cut down in preparation for the building being started working on, which is, I think the original intention was what, May 10th, but that's not necessarily a hard date, obviously, because we're coming up to that pretty soon here.
I think it was like for
Um,
groundbreaking.
But I know that we were trying to get the wood to certain people that needed/wanted it, and so that's why the trees came down earlier before the rest of the building.
Mhm.
So it does feel weird.
Yeah.
It feels
does.
weird to have all that light
Mm-hmm.
and all that space, and there's still a bunch of just scraps there.
Brush.
I don't know what we're going to do with
I
that.
think it's getting picked up soon.
Okay. But in terms of real-time updates
Yeah.
that you can see, I don't know.
I don't think there's anything you can see. We're getting air. Oh, hopefully the air works in the worship center this weekend.
Is it supposed to be working right now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Kind of doesn't feel like it, but it's not really hot.
Yeah.
So
Don't really need it yet, though, do we?
yeah,
We do.
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I'm usually sweating when I'm done
It's
playing
hot.
worship.
I'm always hot, so I think let's get the air. No, but we didn't have
we
air.
will have air.
Like yeah.
And so as we head into the summer, don't sweat because we'll have air. Meant Andy Cam. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
don't sweat it.
Yeah. Anything else, Greg? Anything that you want to share? If you're watching this right now or in the future, go ahead and type anything in there. If any questions that you want, we would love to answer them and address them. Get in touch with you personally, or we could even make it part of the next little check-in here. We are going to probably do this on a regular basis, and Greg thought I should come up with a name. And I have no idea what to name these weekly little video things. It might be Greg. It might be somebody else that's either on staff or maybe one of you. If you have something interesting you'd like to talk about and share, get in touch with me. And if you have a cool name for what we're doing here on a weekly basis, I always thought it'd be kind of cool to do some sort of weekly podcast. I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan or anything, but I enjoy just sitting and having conversation and talking about specific things. And so if you have a cool name, let us know. And if you have any questions about stuff happening here at Northridge, did you hear any? Oh, one last thing. Did you hear anything about? I saw you had the Tim Waltz
Yeah.
announcements.
So it looks
stuff
like
up on
as
the
of
page.
tomorrow, like a lot of restrictions.
Hit us with it. What's going on?
May 7th at noon on May 7th. That's tomorrow. Removes limits for outdoor dining, events, and other get-togethers, and ends the mask requirement outdoors except at large venues with over 500 people. So, except like
So
if you go to the Twins game, it's still a mask requirement at that point.
okay.
Yeah, and then it eliminates the state-established mandatory closing times for bars, restaurants, and food and beverage service and other places. So they're not going to be having to close early, which, I mean, I know in the restaurant business, sometimes it takes time, right, to adjust to some of those schedules maybe, but sounds like because everything was closing at 10, I believe. I don't know. I'm not out that late, but
I'm not either, and I don't even have
no,
kids, and I'm not married.
true story. A couple weeks ago, I had to take the dog to the emergency vet in Golden Valley, and I didn't get down there till like it was close to 10. And you have to sit in your car. You know, you can't go in, so I had to take the dog in, and then I'm sitting in the parking lot. Then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go get something to eat, and
Everything's closed.
everything's closed
The
except
drive-thru should be-
McDonald's
yeah,
drive-through,
drive-thru.
which, McDonald's, it's like you always feel bad about yourself after you eat McDonald's. Like it
What
was just
about
like
Pulvers? Was there a Pulver?
there was no pulvers in sight. So the second step begins May 28th. It says, let's see, remaining capacity and distancing limits will come to an end. Ooh.
What do you mean?
Including
You mean that
for
we don't have to social distance?
indoor events and gatherings. The requirements that will remain include face covering indoors and for outdoor events that exceed 500. So
Exceed 5. So like baseball, like kids,
So any
little
big-
league baseball, you don't have to wear masks.
if
don't know
it
if people
exceeds
are doing that
500
right
people
now anyway.
outdoors, so like concerts, outdoor concerts, and
Okay, like
And like the
I know a
Twins
lot of
game,
people
really.
like to go to Maple Grove, the outdoor
Yeah.
pavilion area, and watch concerts. They don't have to
but still face covering indoors.
indoor restaurants.
It says businesses and other venues must have plans that keep their employees and customers safe, as they have from the beginning of the pandemic, guided only by minimal universal state guideline document. Okay. Step 3, the third step takes place once 70% of Minnesotans age 16 and older
You got the shot.
have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine, but no later than July 1st. Okay. Yeah.
No later.
The remaining face covering requirement and the requirement for preparedness plans will end. By July 1st, that all ends, unless 70% vaccine number gets hit. Then it'll just end everything. Is the way I read that.
Wait, including indoor,
Mm-hmm.
like even at church.
Well, it's indoors.
So
Yeah.
if everything
July
goes
1st.
right by what was that date?
July 1st
July
or earlier
1st,
if 70%.
we can come to
vaccinated.
church without having to wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
If everything goes,
That's the way I read it. Yeah.
dude,
It's cool.
how exciting is that?
That's exciting. Yeah. So what? So July 1st is what day of the week? That's the question.
I think it's this Monday. No, it could be a Wednesday. I have no idea what day it is. I'm guessing.
It could be one of 7 days. July 1st is a Thursday. So that means July 4th is a Sunday. That's right.
That's why I was trying to
So,
work backwards. I'm terrible at math. Though.
So the weekend of the 3rd, 4th, it'd be like no face coverings here. So
yeah, which is usually
sweet.
a very low attended
Yeah.
weekend.
it is.
Anyways, because
Yeah.
it's
A lot of people out of town.
4th of July, and it's happens smack on Sunday.
Yeah.
So there might be, 10 people here that don't have to wear a mask. I'll
Yay.
be one of them. Greg will probably be another one of them.
Yeah.
So we'll be here. But that'd be cool.
Would be.
Yeah. So if you want more information about that,
I don't know. I'm just on the.
He's just
Department of
reading it
Health.
from the Minnesota Department of Health
Yeah.
website. This is not anything that he's making up on his own. I'm
No,
sure
it'd be way different if I was making it up on my own.
I'm sure there's a video of Walsh saying this.
Yeah,
stuff
all the
too.
news outlets had it.
Okay.
There. I just hadn't had time to watch it. So
Cool. Well, any last words? Anybody in the chat want to say anything? Any questions? No.
The last 2 Sundays we had this end times class, and I thought that went really well. That was a lot of fun. So I want to just give a on-air live shout out to not only Brax, who helped teach one section. I taught one section, but 2 non-staff guys, Mike Stella and Matt Hutchcraft, who both did a phenomenal job. And also we had a lot of people in the building in attendance who just gave thoughts and contribution to the subject matter, and it was fun. It went really well. So I don't know. I just thought of that. It was it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and
So-
you can actually watch those on
Yeah,
our
there's-
YouTube page.
Yep, still on the YouTube.
So if you missed
page.
it and you want to get all that great information, again, it's just 4 different views. Nothing
Yep.
that is definitive.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to learn about some of that stuff, have some ideas in your head, and kind of come up with what might you think about
Yeah.
this stuff. You
Yeah.
can go to our YouTube page and watch that.
So a lot of people really love that subject and really study it hard, and that's awesome. But for someone who doesn't really think like, I don't want to give, I know a friend of mine, studies, they do studies on Revelation and end times, and they're just so knowledgeable. And I don't know if I have that time, but this would be perfect for like a surface level, or even like a 30,000 foot level
Introductory
overview
all
of the
it.
four main views that are there. So you can watch those. There's 2 per session. So those are on the YouTube page. Also, we made a playlist on our YouTube channel that has like some of those teaching series. So there's another one archived there from last summer. No, yeah, it was last summer that Jerry Hickman did on just a little thing that he's developed called the pyramid.
That's right.
And it's just like
of the shape that
yeah.
you had the shape.
Which
of
shape was
something
it? But it's just like a spiritual formation and spiritual, like kind of growing in your walk kind of a thing. And it's really good. And that's up there as well as also with all of our past services for the last couple of years.
Are we going to be doing any sort of adult education classes like that in the future?
Yeah, I mean, we have the way we approach that is, I mean, we have people that are gifted teachers, and if you're a like this end times one, Mike Stella, if you know him, he's preached a couple times. Well, actually, a couple times a year usually. He'll fill in up front, and he's just a good teacher. He's a teacher at heart, and he had this idea when we were planning out the Daniel series. He said, "Hey, if we're doing Daniel, maybe we should do a class on the end times. Just some different views on it." And I thought it was great, and so he really jumped on that and put it together. Same thing with the Wednesday night during the summer. Jerry Hickman has always said, "Hey, do you want me to do a thing?" And I'm always like, "Hey, if you want to, like, we could do it." And I'm not saying just like anyone could just come out of the woodwork and, "Hey, I want to teach everybody this or that." It's but if you have teaching gifts that have been that we know are there, and you got something that you want to do, you talk to me and
Talk to him.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We have some plans for the fall about something that we might potentially do that would coincide with our fall series. And I don't know if we told everyone yet what we're doing this next year, if we can. Am I going to get in trouble?
See you in the future, everybody. Thanks
From
for
the-
joining us. I got to shut this off now.
This is awkward where it's like that.
We got done originally at, like, we were getting close to everything that I want to talk about, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes into it. So that's why I started kind of filling in stuff. Then we went long, then we went a lot longer.
See, this is weird because I had the life group